Hello there students. So this question was asked in GATE 2007 exam. It's a 2 marks question and is a bit lengthy question. The statement as well as its solution is a bit lengthy. Okay, anyways, what you are given is these two tables and this relational algebra query. Okay, they are asking what will be the result of this query. The two tables are studInfo and enroll. Let me first read the statement and then we'll solve this question. The information about a collection of students is given by the relation studInfo, studId name, sex. The relation enroll, studId, courseId, gives which student has enrolled for what courses. Assume that every course is taken by at least one male and at least one female student. What does the following relational algebra expression represent? Have a look at this expression as well as the four options. Okay, so this is the expression that is given in the question. Now, one thing that I'll recommend you is you please note down such expressions on the rough sheet. In the real exam, you will be provided with the notepad or a rough sheet. You copy it down on that sheet. Because when you are looking at such expression on your computer screen, it's very difficult to judge that which bracket corresponds to which one, because the sizes of all the parentheses are same. I'll display the picture of that question once again. Have a look, it's very confusing. Okay, anyways, to begin with, let's fill some dummy data in these schemas or in these tables. First of all, let's fill some data in studInfo, which is studId name, sex. Let's just neglect this column name because name is nowhere present in this query. So this is studId and sex. Okay, so let's take more female students because question is about female students only. Okay, so let the first three students S1, S2 and S3 be females and S4 be a male. Then there's this table enroll. Enroll means out of these four students, which student has opted for which all courses. So it is studId and courseId, SID, CID. Okay. Let's take or let's assume there are three courses, C1, C2 and C3. Okay, so this is the data that I've filled. It says student S1, a female student, S1 is a female student, and she has enrolled for all the three courses available, C1, C2 and C3. Then the student S2, which is also a female, has opted for only two courses, which is C2 and C3. Similarly, S3 has opted for only one course, which is course 1. And the male student S4 has also opted for one course, which is C3. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Now let's try to solve this relational algebra query. So you can see we need to find out the cross product of these two tables. Okay. Now, first of all, let's solve this part. Then we are going to solve this part. Then we'll perform a cross product. Okay. So they are saying from the table studInfo, select only female students. Okay. That means these three students. Okay. Then from the resultant table, that means the resultant of this query, which is this part. Okay. And let me just highlight it with another color. this part. From this table, highlighted in blue, you project student IDs. Okay. That means each and every student ID present in this blue table will be selected SID, S1, S2, S3. This part is now done. Let's focus here. It's saying project course IDs from the table enroll. That means from this table, you pick all the course IDs. That means this column. Now, you must keep in mind that this project operator or projection operator will remove duplicates. That means even though C1 is present twice, but we will consider it only once. So I'm writing this part, the resultant table of this part here. Okay, it will be C1, C2, C3. These are the only courses we have. CID is C1, C2, C3. Okay. Now you need to perform a cross product. Performing a cross product means pick up the first data item from the first table and link it with all the data items from second table, and perform this for S2 and S3 as well. Okay, let's write the cross product here. It's going to have 9 rows. S1 is linked with all the 3 courses, S2 is linked with all the 3 courses, S3 is linked with all the 3 courses. What does it actually mean? It means just assume that all the girls S1, S2 and S3 have enrolled for each and every course, which is C1, C2, C3. Now just keep in mind, this is not the actual scenario. That means this cross product, first of all, let's write the cross product. So I've written the cross product. S1 has enrolled for all the 3 courses. S2 has enrolled for all the 3 courses. Parallelly S3. Just keep this thing in mind. This is not the actual scenario. All the girls haven't taken all the courses. Actual scenario is only S1 has opted for all 3 courses. S2 has opted for only 2 courses, whereas S3 has opted for a single course only. This is a temporary data that we just created for solving this much part of the question, or just to execute this relational algebra query. Okay, so this one is not the actual scenario, rather this is actual scenario. Anyways, this much part from this parenthesis to this parenthesis is solved. Now let's focus on this part. They are saying from this table or from this relation, actually I'm using the terminology table, relation, cross product, etc. very loosely. Okay, just don't focus on the terminologies too much. I'm currently more focused on explaining the question. Anyways, you need to subtract this. That means the actual scenario. This one is the enroll table. From this, okay. Now let me first copy this here. Okay, I've noticed just one little mistake. Not a mistake, actually. You just assume that this girl S3 has enrolled for a course C2 instead of C1. She has enrolled for C2. Similarly, just make that correction here also. It's C2 here as well. Actually, this table is copied as it is here. because we need to subtract enroll from this one. Okay. Now the question is almost done. Just focus here. 1 minute of concentration and you'll understand this question. Now what they're saying is, remove the actual scenario. Whatever was the actual scenario, remove from this scenario or subtract it from this scenario. That means this row is not going to be present in the solution or in the resultant table, because S1, C1, S1, C2, S1, C3 is present here as well. So none of these three is going to be in the result. Similarly, S2, C3 and S2, C2. S2, C3 and S2, C2. They'll not be in the result. First row that is going to be the part of result is this one, because S2, C1 is not present here. Mind it, S2, C1 is not present here. That means S2, C1 is not present here in the actual scenario or actual data. That means S2 have actually not enrolled for course C1. And that will be the part of our result. So this female student which has not enrolled for some particular course, that row or that entry will be part of our result. For example, SNCK, if this such an entry is present, it actually means student N, a female student SN, has not enrolled for course CK. It's very clear from here. Anyways, let's move ahead. S3C2. S3C2. This one will not be a part of result. This is present in result as well as this is present in result. And you need not worry about S4C3 because S4 is anyways a male student. Okay. Now let me highlight these. These three rows will be part of your result. Okay. From this square bracket to this square bracket. Okay. And what it actually means is student S2 has not enrolled for course C1. Student S3 has not enrolled for course C1. As well as student S3 has not enrolled for course C3. You can verify it from here. S3 has not enrolled for C1 and C3. Yeah, that's true because S3 has only enrolled for C2. And S2 has not enrolled for C1. S2, yeah, that's true. S2 has not enrolled for C1. And S1 will not be a part of this resultant table because S1 has actually enrolled for all the three courses. Okay. Now you project this CID from this table. I'm erasing this part, or I'll just write down that here. S2C1, S3C1, S3C3. Yeah. This is the resultant table. Its schema will be student ID and course ID. This one only, yeah. Student ID, course ID. Now you project course IDs from this table. And you very well remember that we need to delete the duplicates. C1 is present twice, so it will be counted only once. That means the result of this entire relational algebra query will be C1 and C3 because these are the only two courses or course IDs in resultant table. Okay. This one is your result, C1, C3, and this is CID because we projected CIDs only. This part is your result. Now let's see what are the options. A part says this query will result, the result of this expression will represent courses in which all female students are enrolled. No, all female students are enrolled. Do we have such a course? Course C1. S1 is enrolled for C1. S2 is not enrolled for C1. Okay, so it's clear that option A is wrong because this is present in your result, but S2 has not enrolled. So all female students are not enrolled for these courses. Anyways, option C, courses in which a proper subset of female students are enrolled. Courses in which proper subset of female students are enrolled. Yeah, this one seems correct because you see, if each and every female student is enrolled from for some particular course, for example, course C2. In C2, you notice that S1 has enrolled. Yeah, so first female student has enrolled for C2. S2 has enrolled. That means second female student has also enrolled, as well as S3 has enrolled. That means each and every female student, all the three female students, has enrolled for this course. Course C2, and course C2. What will be the effect of such a scenario? That means in the table or cross product that we just created, this cross product, we imagined that each and every female student has enrolled for each and every course. That means S1 C2 will be present here, S2 C2 will be present here, S2 C2, S3 C2 will be present here. Because saying each and every female student has enrolled for each and every course also means that C2 is chosen by all the three students. That's the only way we could get C2 in this column. Okay. Now actual scenario is also same. This one also says C2 is chosen by S1, C2 is chosen by S2, C2 is chosen by S3. And all these three rows are being removed. That means we are completely removing this course C2. C2 will not be a part of result by any chance because S1, S2, S3, all the female students have actually enrolled for this course C2. Okay, so that means from this cross product, all the entries containing C2 will be completely eliminated. This one, and this one, they will be removed. That means there's no chance we could get C2 in the result. Just for my satisfaction, let me explain it once. What's happening is, whatever was the actual scenario, we are deleting those rows. Actual scenario says that C2 is opted by each and every girl. That means you delete every entry containing C2 because every girl has opted for C2. Okay. That means there's no chance you'll have C2 in this result. Now, for all those courses where each and every girl is not enrolled, a proper subset of girls has opted for that course. That means even if one girl is there which has not opted for that course will be present in the result, because for C1 there is a girl S2. For course C1 there is a girl S2. S2 has not opted for the course C1. That means it's going to be present in the result. So similarly, S3 has not opted for C1. It's going to be present in the result. Similarly, course C3 is not opted by student 3. So C3 is going to be present in the result. That means all those courses for which a proper subset of female students have enrolled are part of the result. Maybe the battery is low. Okay, I'm not It's not visible. Anyways, let's continue. I'll just quickly wind it up. So all the students haven't enrolled, all the female students haven't enrolled for C1. That's the reason C1 is present in the result. So option B is true. A proper subset of female students must enroll for a course for it being present in the result. Anyways, my native language is not English. So if it's even a bit confusing for you, you just watch this video in Hindi. I am recording each and every video in both of the languages. And I believe I am able to explain better in Hindi. Anyways, the answer is option B. Just have a look at option C and D as well. Courses in which only one male students. No, that's not possible. Male students, you don't just need to worry about these male students, because the result is going to be from this table only. Okay, and this table does not contain any male student, any entry with SID of a male student. Okay, option D says none of these. Don't worry about that option, because option B is the answer. Okay.